Hello, beautiful people. Andrew's going to join us shortly, but here we have Miss Megan Mole.
Hi,
Megan,
guys.
hello, who's actually fuming. She's actually fuming about things, and I don't blame her. Let me just show you something here. I thought it'd be funny here.
You guys,
Let's
we were
find out who the
calling.
royal racist is. Let's find out who the royal racist here.
God.
This is Harry in 2005 when he was asked who he was dating, and he said that it was Chelsea. And then he goes, but she's from Zimbabwe. She's about the Zimbabwean roots of his girlfriend Chelsea. She's not black or anything,
Yeah, we remember that. Of course. And remember he Harry also told the comedian, I think his name is Stephen Amos. I think that's how I say his last name, but he's a black comedian. And Harry went to him after his show and said to him, "You don't sound black or anything." If you look up Harry and Stephen Amos, Stephenamos, Google it, you'll find it. But yeah, like Harry has a history of making racist remarks. But Paula, like I got to tell people what we were laughing at before we came on, because the fact that, okay, we all have seen so far that Meghan has named Catherine as the other royal racist, right? And I'm sorry, but like, I'm supposed to believe a hussy who did nothing with her life but give blowjobs on 90210 and bruise up her knees and blow out her back. I'm supposed to believe a mattress actress with a slutty background is going to tell me that Catherine, the woman who has endured so much bullying, harassment, sexist comments, misogyny towards her, and has never peeped a word ever in all the years that we have seen her be with William or be within the public light. But now all of a sudden, Catherine's a racist because Meghan Markle said, like, bitch, get lost. Seriously, take a hike.
But it's so funny, it's so funny. And this is what I was saying to you. It was just a matter of time, because this is, what did I tell you about abuse?
Yes.
It escalates. It always escalates.
Yes.
People think that you have, they're keeping a dignified silence. There's nothing dignified when the person that you're fighting against uses your silence as fuel to escalate the attacks. Okay, so let's rehash this a little bit, guys. Meghan Markle, for what, a year and a half that she was in the royal family, was allowed to bully, abuse, and slander staff and her own family, and they didn't do anything. In fact, they covered up for her, because they conducted that interview, or that review for her bullying accusations, for the bullying accusations, and they're keeping it in-house.
Yeah, they're keeping it private. They're not
So never mind the pain, the emotional stress, the psychological stress Meghan Markle caused to all the staff and the people around it. I mean, even Harry says in his spare book that, people were with their heads, crying on their desks,
on the tables. Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't say why. It's because Harry and Meghan, Harry as well, was bullying everybody, because Harry is a known bully. So Harry was bullying everybody along with his skanky wife.
Yeah.
So, and the royal family covered up. And I was telling you that the royal family is suffering the same thing that Mr. Thomas Markle Sr. has suffered, because they're guilty of being arrogant, thinking, oh, Meghan Markle is going to do that to other people, but never to us. Mr. Markle admitted that he had seen Meghan behave that way, but he never thought she'd behave that way towards him. The royal family probably thought, oh, how can you have to judge the woman. The royal family, the entire family, royal family, are watching how Meghan Markle is treating her disabled sister.
Yeah.
Her very ill father. Her brother, the entire of the black clan of the Raglands, and they stood by and did nothing. They saw Meghan Markle invite strangers to her wedding, paid for by the taxpayers, and did nothing. And then they saw, I was canceled. my account was completely canceled on Twitter when I pointed out that Doria was there only as a banner for her on that wedding. Why wasn't people looking at that? Right? So the royal family saw how, and I've, you know, that I've done lives and I've done videos where I shamed the royal family for the way they treated Samantha when she went to deliver that letter, and they let her stand outside or sit on her wheelchair in the sun, not even say, even for manners sake, you know, for manners sake, you know, we can't have that woman that doesn't look good. Have her come in and hand deliver the letter. We give her a cup of tea, and then she goes on her way. But no, they wanted to stand and support Meghan Markle, whatever it is, whatever she was up against, or she was doing. They have encouraged her craziness, and I mean, and they have rewarded it.
Look, they don't say anything, so the more the royal family doesn't say or do anything, like keeping them up on the royal family website still as working members, just gives them more ammunition to just be worse the next time around. Like, look at Harry and Meghan. They didn't get the response that they wanted after the Oprah interview, right? So then they just keep putting out more bullshit, worse bullshit, right? So now they're getting worse because no one is doing anything about it. Nobody, like, people say to me, like, I've gotten comments like, what do you expect King Charles to do? Hi, Andrew.
Hello.
Like, what do you expect King Charles to do? I said, King Charles doesn't need to say anything. All he has to do is say, remove them off the website. There you go. That's something right there. You don't have to make a big statement about anything at all. Just remove them off the website and let people figure it out themselves. Cut them off, take the kids out of the line of succession. You know what? Meghan wants to bring up these children again. We want to know how 2 surrogate-born children got into the line of succession with titles. We want to know how an American-born child that the royal family has never and no one has ever seen is in the line of succession with a title. What kind of circus show is that? Harry and Meghan have been allowed to turn the royal family into a circus. Do you see this kind of disrespect happening between any other elite families or royal families? There wouldn't be this kind of shit happening.
Never mind that. This is a monarchy. And you know what's the worst part of it all? Is that Meghan Markle has managed to associate Charles' name and Catherine's name to the word racism in print.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, whenever you click racism, monarchy,
it's going to pop up now.
Prince Charles, you get Charles and Catherine. That is forever linked on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody, this is for real. You know, today I did that. I put UK racist. Immediately, Charles and Catherine came up.
Yeah.
And this is not something that's going to go away. And I mean, I did a video yesterday, guys. I don't know if, Andrew, if you know this. In the UK, it's actually illegal. For example, if you come and accuse somebody, and I posted the case that I've been talking about for years. In 2011, before the woke people started taking charge of things, where when on 2011 you were held liable for whatever shit you did. Oh, what happened to him? And then so there was this guy who basically falsely accused a warden, you know, the guy who gives tickets, you know, if you're parked illegally, of racism, of assaulting him. And then what happened to the guy? Because what happens in the UK is they don't even investigate. If you say this guy racially abused me, you're immediately suspended, arrested, interrogated. And then they conduct the investigation. But in the meantime, I mean, that warden spent 5 weeks being investigated. I mean, he was interrogated for 3 hours, arrested and suspended from his job. And for 5 weeks, he had to wait to see what happened. You know, and then the same guy did the same thing to a doctor in the UK. He parked illegally in the handicap zone, you know, area. And the doctor came and said to him, you know what? This is, you know, like a handicap zone. And the guy came and accused the doctor of racially abusing him. And he was condemned to 12 months in prison and fined. And his wife also was condemned with a suspended sentence. So what Meghan is doing right now, what Meghan has successfully managed to do is, because if we go by the UK law, they should arrest Charles and Catherine, suspend them from all their work, and then start an investigation, which is what I've been saying for the longest time, because this is a government body. This is with everybody. This is a hate crime.
Yeah.
No, but nothing has happened. And people saying, "Oh, the dignified silence." No, you can't be dignified about this shit.
No, this is too long. This is way too long. This is way too long. Look,
but you have to remember that's the point. That's the point. The point of the two morons and the plastic bastard attacking them is because they know that the royal family can't do anything back. That's the point. None of this would be happening if it was real that there were actual stories coming from the royal family, because then there would be some kind of response, some kind of statement. But since there isn't, and since there never has been, it's totally fine for these two people to just say whatever they want, because never complain, never explain. And the thing is, right now, that's a detriment to the royal family.
Absolutely, but that doesn't always work. Remember with the cheating thing with William and Rose, he immediately had issued the papers to detract from that. He got the lawyers involved, and right now they are allowing Meghan Markle.
What you just said, maybe they don't see it as serious. Maybe William saw that the cheating allegations, he saw them as serious, so he made a move. And maybe the royal family doesn't see what's going on right now as a serious enough thing in order to actually make a statement or something, or something.
Or maybe they don't take the monarchy serious. Maybe they take their personal matters more seriously than they take the monarchy's matters, which is the monarchy represents an entire Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And if William can speak out against something that's stupid, because why would they speak out about something that's stupid if they know there's nothing there? But here, they're being accused of a heinous hate crime, and they're not doing anything about it. And not just them, the monarchy, the head of the monarchy, and the Princess of Wales.
Yeah.
What do you think, Megan Small?
Girl, the royal family should have done something look, if I wrote a book, okay, and if I put in the book that I could control with my mind a Typhoon fighter jet to take out King Charles, but in the last moment, I changed the plans and I had the fighter jet take out a shed instead. If I publicly said that, or if I publicly wrote that on my Twitter or X account, whatever you want to call it, I would be in trouble. If I was in the UK as a UK,
that's the thing, though. It's Harry saying it. It's not a normal person. You have to remember something. It's Harry. See, it's this moron that's never had any accountability his whole life. He's been a douchebag ever since he was little. He's always been an asshole, and he's never had to face any kind of accountability for what's going on. And it just seems like that's continuing into however long this is going to be, because there's always been that claim, King Charles loves his son. Mm-hmm. That's just unfortunately for the argument, you can't do anything about a father's love.
No, I understand that. But as a king, it makes him look very weak. Yeah. As a king who's supposed to be running a country.
But how can he be? The real question is, how can people hold Charles accountable for that? That's an interesting question.
Well, you can start by taking them off as working members of the royal family.
No. I didn't mean that.
Oh, no, his connection.
How can the people of England hold the king accountable for what he's lacking?
He can through Parliament. The king can be removed if he's not fulfilling his duties, or if his actions are detrimental to the monarchy and the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. You can. It's actually on their website that the king can be removed from his duties and his office if he's not fulfilling his duties and his actions are detrimental to the United Kingdom and Commonwealth. And it's the citizens of the United. It's there in their website. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Parliament can remove his ass and say you're not fit to be a monarch, you're not fulfilling your duties. We can actually remove you and put somebody there who will fulfill the duties. That is absolutely
William.
Yeah, it's absolutely there in the royal case. It's in the royal website, and when you go to the succession thing, it's there. Parliament has the right to remove the king, a sitting monarch, if it's not fulfilling his duties or his actions are detrimental to the monarchy, not his family, because the royal family is just the royal family. They can be replaced.
Yeah.
So it can be. People have to nag Parliament that either they do something. This is what other organization do you see, Andrew? I don't know. Can you imagine you going to your work and you go and blab about, let's say you work for Apple, and you go in and blab it to Microsoft, and you go, tell them all kinds of shit, and then you go into newspapers and online and trash them publicly, lie, slander. Do you think Apple is gonna? What do you think, Apple? Oh, we're gonna keep him on our website because we don't want to hurt his feelings.
Well, if it was the son of the owner of Apple, there's a possibility that would be okay, because it's all about who this is. It's all about who's doing it. It's just a simple case of you have a rich douchebag that gets away with everything that he wants to get away with. And unfortunately, that's an easy answer, and it's a very, very stupid one. That's the problem.
I mean, I don't know what you think about it, and now listen to this, guys. Okay. Did you read this? King Charles drove desperate Harry and Meghan to sign contracts worth up to 128 million pounds after leaving the royal family. Oh, Miss Scobie. So now he's blaming the royal family. And I don't know about you, but this sounds like extortion. Either you keep supporting and paying us money, or we're going to trash you.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, that is extortion. But the thing about that, all that money that they took, I think this is just a headline from Scabies, because if you go back to when they signed those deals, they did have a tad bit of popularity, when before the car chase, before the Spare book, before the Harry and Meghan documentary, before all of these things dropped them because of all these failures. Back then, there were some people out there that did believe the royal family was racist, the royal family was oppressive, that Meghan was really treated badly. There was a lot of people that believed that. So when they signed those deals, the only reason they signed them is because the people that gave them those deals saw a slight possibility that it would pay off, and it just didn't.
Yeah, listen to what Ginger Gruzio says. Meghan Markle has literally taken the royal family down to Hollywood trash. The royal family must do something Parliament. Absolutely.
That's true. You know that, remember there was supposed to be a second reading of the titles or something through Parliament?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I saw that. I'm actually going to do a video about that, because it's about, I saw that. It's they haven't even done the second reading, and this was posted last year.
They've I saw an update on it actually not too long. I'm trying to find
that they weren't going to do the second reading.
They're not doing it. They're not
that's
doing
what I saw too. I saw
they dropped it.
What do you mean?
Not doing the second reading?
Yeah, that they killed the bill.
They killed it.
Let me check that, Bill.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it here.
I have it here. I'll check.
I don't know where I saw that, but I know I had seen that. That was on Twitter.
Yeah, I know the person who posted it, so I'm trying to find it in their reply.
Here, I have it here. Let me see right now. Long title, sponsor, bill passage, first reading. It doesn't say anything here. I'll show it you guys what it is. It's right here. It doesn't say it's killed.
It's not going on to the next. Hold on.
Well, it doesn't say anything. It says private members originated. It would say here if it's killed. It doesn't say that. It says these are long titles. News. Let me see. News. It says latest news. The session has prorogued, and this bill will make no. Yeah, you're right. It will make no further progress.
That's what I saw. Yeah, it'll make.
This was in March 27, 2023. How come nobody's talking about this? We're in November right now.
Yeah. This was just updated.
It got buried.
We just recently updated that too. That wasn't, because I keep looking at that every week. And it says it was past March 2023. But that note that it was killed wasn't put up there until recently.
Yeah, I know, because I've actually, you know what? I actually was with P. Dinah. We were WhatsApping. Yeah. This is about 2 weeks ago, because I was actually going to do a video about it, and we were looking at everything. This is 2 weeks ago. I went through here. It didn't have it here.
Yeah, this was recent. They just put that up like.
Yeah, I think I saw.
We're looking at this long title, blah blah blah, and this and that, and it had bill introduced, and the bill is basically just saying that Charles had the right to remove peerage things, and they were confirming in writing that Charles had a right to remove all the titles, which he already does. He has, Parliament has already answered that it's up to the monarch to remove all the titles. But this is absolutely disgusting. And you know what's terrible? That the press have not been talking about it.
Yeah.
It makes you think what's really going on then.
They're not talking about that, and they're not talking about the fact that Megan's trial is set for November 4th, 2024
But
against her.
it isn't really set, that's the thing. The judge hasn't ruled whether the trial goes ahead.
But she did.
That's
She's
what
given a
that's what
date.
the paper said, that
That's
it's
the
going
date.
ahead on
No,
November.
the paper, no. But the judge has not made any ruling on whether the judge was responding to a petition by both parties to extend the deadlines, right?
No, Paula,
Okay.
the judge
About that.
came down. The judge came down with a decision, and the trial date has been set for November 4th, 2024.
Where is that? Because
It says right here, Meghan Markle is set for trial as judge has.
no.
No,
This is the Daily Mail.
No,
No.
GBN.
GB News.
Who?
GBN.
GB News.
Because if you go to the site where the thing is, where the trial thing, the judge still hasn't ruled whether the trial is going to go ahead. The judge ruled on extending the deadline, and she moved the dates that they were supposed to be by 120 days. But the ruling
that was weeks ago, Paula.
No, that was November 16th. Sorry, November 14th.
I know, weeks ago. We're already going to be December. This is yesterday.
Here, I put the link in the chat.
No, let me see. Where can I see it? Let me see. GB
I'll send
News.
it to your WhatsApp.
No, the GB News is repeating what the Daily Mail said. GB News is repeating what the Daily Mail said.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you're saying the court documents there's no court documents that say that? So how would
there's no ruling? The judge has not ruled on whether the case moves forward. The judge is replying to the I even talked to Samantha about it yesterday. I said, because I congratulated her. And I said to her, and I asked her, is this about, has the judge issued a ruling? And then I had my friend, before I came on the chat, call the judge's chambers, because she went into the papers, documents, she has access, anybody can access them if you pay for something. And the judge hasn't made a ruling on whether the case moves forward. The judge made a ruling on both parties requested 120 days extension on all the deadlines. So the judge said, okay, if we go ahead, these will be the dates. But the judge hasn't said yet. There's no judge ruling saying, the case moves forward. This is GB News basically reporting on Daily Mail.
Oh, it says a trial date has been set November 4th.
Yeah, the judge said that, because the judge gave new dates, because she had to change the dates by 120 days. So all the dates were moved. The preliminary, all the dates have been moved by 120 days. But that is if the case goes ahead. The judge has not ruled, which is, and then Samantha was saying that that's encouraging, because at least if she believes that if I guess the judge, let me see what she said, the judge wouldn't be changing the dates or granting those date changes if there was no intention of
HRHT Queen said it right there. Markle's trying to get a date during the U.S. election. The next day is the U.S. election. And my birthday's the day before.
Yeah, this is what Samantha said. If someone planned on dismissing something, they would not schedule mediation and trial. Yeah, but the judge hasn't made a ruling.
Okay, well, that's good then.
No, but that's very encouraging, because I actually went, because when I saw that, I texted her. I said, Sam, congratulations, But it's amazing that it takes a disabled woman who has more ovaries. I mean, if I'm wrong, please, I don't have a problem. If Samantha's going to trial, Meghan Markle's going to trial.
Oh, no.
I'll be doing the chicken dance on this channel. I'll be doing the chicken dance.
That's what it says everywhere online. It's November 4th, but y'all have been talking to the people at the court. So if you've been talking to them, that's different. But hey, either way, as long as it hasn't been dismissed, we're looking good.
Oh God.
And as long as it hasn't been dismissed, hey, Meghan still has to pony up and see whatever she does. So that's
I hope it doesn't get dismissed.
Pay for this, because this is going to cost her millions, especially with the lawyers that she has. It's going to cost her so much money, and I don't think Sam is going to take a payout or anything or settle, because she wants people to know the truth. She wants there to be a court record that says that Meghan has lied about this. She wants proof, right? In public
absolutely.
This is so annoying. I don't understand why Charles did this. Doria should have walked. You know what? I've always said the royal family it's their fault this is happening because they did so much for someone that they didn't even know, right? From the minute that they started calling Meghan and Harry, William and Catherine the Fab Four, that should have never happened. That gave Meghan and Harry the idea that they were on the same level as William and Catherine. Charles should have never walked.
Isn't
Meghan
that the
down
photo where they're all looking at her like shit?
Actually, they're looking at, actually, they're not. They're looking at Charlotte. If you look, everybody's looking at the other way. The only one who's looking at her is Edward.
But it's just, I don't understand why Doria didn't walk her down. Right? And then why were they allowed?
What about, let me ask you all a question. What about the aspect of embarrassment? Now, are we too far that the royal family can't do anything? Because if they do anything, then that means the whole thing has been Meghan totally tricking the royal family, and that will be a complete worldwide embarrassment that this biracial woman tricked the royal family of England. So there would be an aspect of embarrassment for them. So there is something to where, you know, either they keep it under wraps and they keep on going with this, not saying anything, never complain, never explain. Either they keep on going with it, or they're going to be embarrassed for the mistake that they made. So I think that there is something to that. There's something to the point of that Charles loves his son. There's something to the point of where we don't know if they really are half in, half out. There's a lot of points that you can look at and say, well, that could be true. Well, that could be true. There's a lot of things. And the problem here is that, as usual, we get nothing from the royal family. So we're all just led to speculate day in and day out. That's all.
What do you think, Megan? Molly?
I don't know what to think about that. I'm just, you know what? I'm at the point where I'm just so sick and tired of their bullshit. Their constant, like, there's so much.
You have to channel that anger. You got to channel that into what you're doing. That's what I do. Because I hate this guy, so I just channel that.
I know.
Well, do you know what I think it is? And you know what I think it is? And you tell me if either you tell me if you think I'm wrong. I think that the royal family have been such accomplices to everything that if Meghan goes down, they have to go down with her. This is the problem when you have accomplices. This is just like Meghan right now and Harry, who are in a shit show with Omid Scobie, you know, because they haven't denounced the book. Because they haven't come out and condemn and denounce the book, which means they're endorsing it.
The book has been a complete failure. They don't even need to. There's that phrase that they always say, don't interrupt your enemy when they're ruining themselves. The book has been a complete failure. Nobody believes anything, not like with Prince Harry. With Prince Harry, I mean, you know, they pulled some shit with Prince Harry's book because people still had, I guess, an ounce of respect, maybe a little bit of belief that these two people really were wronged. Now, no. I mean, no.
This book, Omid's book, is doing a great job of showing how jealous, how vile Harry. You know what? I may go hard on Meghan, but Harry, to allow someone to speak the way that they did about his sister-in-law, about Catherine, you're just as much trash as Meghan is. You allow some skank and their plastic-faced friend to come and talk shit about your family and your sister-in-law who made you feel welcome in their little world with William and her when they got married, and you're letting someone speak so sexist about her. Imagine if someone said all the things that Omid Scobie wrote in his book about Meghan. If the tables were turned, the sugars would be up in arms about it. People would be freaking out about it.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's Catherine getting all this sexist and misogynistic comments thrown at her, no one's saying anything.
Yeah. Well, because it's also because Catherine is a part of the family. So the thing is, it's something to where, since she's in the royal family, it's like, oh, we're throwing rocks at a tank. So
Yeah.
it's okay. We're just throwing rocks at a tank. But with Meghan, it's like, no. She's outside of the royal family. So, you can't poke at her because that's not okay because she's not in a tank like the royal family. It's like it's a mental thing. That's why it's okay for Catherine and not for Meghan. It's bullshit is what it is.
This pissed me off yesterday. I spoke about this yesterday during my live. I was so pissed off about that. Like, how dare King Charles grieve that his mother just passed away and didn't give the fraudulent phantom hostage children their titles right away?
Hey, and how do they do in the UK with petitions? Do they listen to petitions over there the way they do here in the States?
When they hit a certain amount, yeah, they do.
10,000 and they have to give you an answer, and then 100,000 they have to discuss it in Parliament without consulting them.
If that's the case, then somebody over there needs to do something with a petition, because that shit works here in the States. If you get enough here in the States, they'll do something about it. Somebody over there, like, we can't do it. We're here in America, It's got to be somebody there in Britain, in the UK. I mean, even in Wales, Scotland, any of those places, you get a petition with enough signatures and they have to make a move.
Well, in Canada, we did that when when Harry and Meghan went there. We put a petition, and within a week, we had over 80,000 signatures. And this is when Trudeau had to withdraw the security funding for them while they were there, and he sent the bill to Parliament, to the United Kingdom. The problem, I did start a parliamentary petition a while ago. Nobody signed it, and the petition was basically to asking Parliament to amend to request the birth certificate, not the birth certificate, but the certificate of live birth with the doctor's signature, indicating where and when the kids had been born. And nobody, I didn't even get 800 signatures. And I could see that a lot of people were watching. I had at one point, I had over about 75,000 people watching the thing. The petition, because you can see how many people. This is the parliamentary petition, and I kept promoting it because I wanted Parliament. You can't, because I knew Parliament had said in writing that all royal titles are up to the monarch. It's there in writing, and I'll show it to you, Andrew. So they said, okay, if it's not about the titles, I asked him to please amend first the succession bill and to put it into writing. Those were my things I put, to request that it be put back into law, because it used to be law that document must be presented to make sure that everything was transparent and that the children belong in the line of succession. And they removed that right before Charles was born, right? And there used to have to be present, the Home Secretary of the United Kingdom used to have to be present along with 2 other witnesses, right? So they abolished that law, but with the understanding that those documents would always be made public. So I asked in that UK parliamentary petition, so a friend of mine did it in the UK, to please reinstate that law, to request that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry made those documents available in order to be in the line of succession.
Yeah.
Asking them to be, those people, and ask them to be removed if they were not willing to put those documents forward. And nobody signed it.
You gotta keep
and in Canada, I did it like that. So I mean, and look at this, guys. Harry and Meghan are still hurt about the delay in giving Archie and Lilibet their prince and princess titles, Omid claims. And the thing is that Meghan Markle is also angry that Catherine and William ghosted her after the Oprah interview.
Of course,
that bitch is dumb, man. Seriously, like, she is the dumbest broad to ever walk the face of this planet. Yeah, I'm going to go and reach out to someone after you brought up Wadey Katie and you brought up how I was bullied and stuff, and you made my daughter cry, but yet you went and told the world that I made you cry. Like, go fist yourself. Seriously.
No, but
really. It's not on camera.
I didn't want to see it anyway.
These are 2 idiots who completely denounced, and remember the Netflix things where they called the royal family, the monarchy, colonialism 2.0. Am I wrong in that? Isn't Meghan, shouldn't Meghan go talk to her father? All he did was take a couple of pictures.
I saw that clip of you, Paula, with Thomas Markle Jr. and Ron. I saw that clip earlier today on Twitter, and from the way that Thomas Markle Jr. was talking, it sounds to me like Megan is sad that Thomas Markle Sr. didn't disown the rest of his family, and I think that's real. I think that a lot of people aren't looking at that, because when someone like Megan, when they don't get what they want, they hold on to that grudge for a very long time. So since she told her father to disown the other part of her family in order to go to the wedding, and he didn't listen, well, she's gonna hold that grudge against him probably until the day he dies. That's how people like that are.
And she's working really hard to get him there. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, can you imagine?
She might even want him dead. She might be like, oh, I'm done with him. I don't even need him alive anymore. He doesn't want to listen to me. That's how those kind of people are when they hold grudges. They want to see people fall, and they want to see people die. They want that because it fills them and it makes them feel good that they saw somebody fail, you know?
Can you imagine? Where's Dory in all of this? Megan, Molly, where is Dory?
Oh, yeah, man.
And Doria's probably somewhere in a corner, hot boxing a bathroom, getting stoned and high out of her tree, not giving a shit. She don't care as long as she's got her drugs and her life is set now. Doria is living a life that she could have never only imagined of living. Yeah. Right? Doria is the same woman that had 2 bankruptcies, was living in an apartment with another person before she took over her dad's house. And I honestly believe that Doria had something to do with the death of her father. 100% I believe that.
Yeah, he tripped over a dog's leash.
he tripped over a dog's leash, but the leash was never in his hands. It was just wrapped around his ankles, right? But yet he somehow has blunt force trauma to his head, right? But he died because he tripped over a dog leash. I 100%.
Wait, hold on. What? Say that again.
You didn't know about that?
No. Say that again.
So Doria's father owned a house, right? The house that Doria currently, or Megan and Doria, lived in at one point, right? Okay. Doria's father owned the house. And then when he passed away, it was said that he was found on the sidewalk by Doria with the dog leash around his ankles. And Doria is the only witness. And then when the autopsy was done for him, it showed that Mr. Alvin what's his name? Alvin Ragland, right. He had blunt force trauma to his skull.
Because he fell from a dog leash?
Yeah, that was only wrapped around his ankles and not in his hand.
Oh my God.
Right? You didn't know that?
No.
Wow. No, I did not know that. No. I mean, you want me to be honest with you? I'm not even going to lie to both of y'all. I don't bother with her. I think she's completely insignificant. That photo that she took with Kim Kardashian, I didn't even want to cover it, but I only did because it would lead to some good stories about the Meg and Kim Kardashian possibly having some kind of business together, but it didn't. It didn't lead to shit. You know, she's insignificant to me. That's how I feel.
Let me just tell you what else happened.
But that does sound like he killed him. That sounds like somebody got murdered.
Oh, I have all of, I should make a whole video about it because I've got all the papers and everything.
Yeah, you should.
But get this. So after the father died, the house was left to the son and Doria, right? Their brother, sister. Okay. It was left 50-50 in their name. I don't know what Doria went and did to her brother, if she said something or what he did, but she took it to court and he signed over everything to her. And he's never come out and said a peep about why he gave the entire house over to Doria. No one in the family has ever spoken about her. And I'm trying to wonder why. Did she threaten them all?
Something.
Something fishy is wrong. But apparently that's the house that Megan used and said that her mom had bought it on her own and everything. No, her mom didn't get it on her own. It was her father's house. It was supposed to be split 50-50, but somehow Doria took it out from under her brother, and the brother has never spoken. He doesn't even want to be associated with them. I looked up the brother too. He's living a good, successful life himself. He's established in his own work. Yeah, in his own business. He wants nothing to do with the Raglands.
And what about the other brother? Because she had another brother that died, the one that used to babysit Megan.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody talks to them. Nobody. Doria doesn't even talk to any Black members of her family. Why is that?
Neither does Meg. Meg doesn't even bring those people up.
No, not at all.
But Andrew, when you said that Doria's insignificant, when Doria went into the Netflix thing, that everybody got paid. Ashley.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Ashley, and I'm ready to have my voice heard.
That's one of those things. Yeah, that's one of those things that whenever you get a production like that, you want to include your friends and your family so that way they can get a little piece of the action.
Yeah, but it's like, Doria, I'm ready to have my voice heard.
Nobody wants to hear your voice, you con artist.
She was brought up as a single mom, She is, and she said and she's the one. She says that she told Megan, "This is going to be about race. Just you wait."
Yeah,
I think she's a race baiter, to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what do you think, Molly?
100%. She's a con artist. She's a race baiter. She's all of the above, right?
Yeah, and I guess I guess I can see on Twitter that you're still a little bit mad. Never forget when Harry and Meghan introduced a doll to the world, expecting us to believe it's a real baby. Shame on the royal family for allowing this fraud to go on for so long. No proof of legitimacy and surrogate-born children cannot be within the line of succession and title.
Yeah, but you have to remember something. Going back to what you said, Paula, about being a race baiter, you have to remember something. That race thing, that's why I've said it on my show many times. That race thing works here in America. It works perfectly. All you have to do here in America is say the word racism, and whoever it's connected to is automatically going to be taken down. Now, that's the point. It didn't work because it's the British royal family. You're not going to take them down with simple racism claims. Meghan Markle is a race baiter. She's a race hustler. That's what these people do. They make money off of that type of shit.
And I can't believe and they are really stupid because they could have named Prince Andrew. Why didn't they name Andrew as the royal racist? Because you can believe it from Andrew. And you all know that I don't like Charles, but I will never say he's a racist because of all the royal family, this man, I mean, he's not a royal racist. And Catherine, I mean, she could have chosen Princess Michael of Kent, that she has some racist encounters, but no, she goes and chooses the two least racist people. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think for that, you look at the stuff that the book, those two books, the Tom Bauer book, Camilla and Charles having the conversation, and the other book, Brothers and Wives. I just did a video on it this morning. And you look at that and they're just using an old claim. But when you go and read those two books, the conversation that Charles and Camilla are having is just a simple conversation. But the point of it is, if you go and look at that Brothers and Wives book, Camilla was worried about the people around her listening, right? Why? Because it doesn't matter that you're actually not having a conversation that's racist. It's all about who heard it. So if people like Meghan Markle, that they make money off of racism and they're fine with doing that, when they find out something like that, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to use that. Because they're race baiting, race hustlers. That's what they make money off of this. And the problem here in America is it works. That's the problem.
What do you think, Molly?
What's the funny thing out of all of this is that so far Charles is a racist. So far Catherine's a racist. Sophie's a bigot. Princess Michael of Kent is a racist. Everyone is a racist except for Harry and Meghan, right?
They both are.
Well, that's the thing. I was saying this in my live yesterday that I'm not someone who goes and looks at race. I don't see race when I look at people. It's not the first thing I think of. The only people that would worry themselves constantly about race and racism and race and this and that are people who are racist themselves. Mm-hmm. And I 100% believe that Meghan and Harry are racist themselves because they turn everything about race.
Mm-hmm.
Those two are the biggest racists. They're projecting. This book is all projection from those two. Those two wish they were William and Catherine. Those two wish they were loved worldwide like William and Catherine are. They wish they could pull in the crowds like William does, but they have to pay for it, right? Mm-hmm. They want what they have.
The thing is that why the name calling? Why are they? And I mean,
They're immature.
Katie Keene, Kate Keene. I'm like, couldn't they come up with a better nickname?
Wouldn't you want to be keen to do your work? I mean, like, I don't see that as an insult.
No.
I mean, wouldn't you
Something
want
Megan
a
is
royal
not.
member, a woman who's married into the royal family, wouldn't you want her to be keen for her role so she can like excel at the highest level of being a royal? Wouldn't you want her to be into her job and be keen about it? This is very like 12-year-old high school petty bullshit behavior, which I see straight from Meghan Markle. This is immature, childish behavior. You just can't just like go away, shut up, and do whatever you wanted to do for the last 4 fucking years, right? You want to go fist Harry and turn him into the Prince of Pegging in America? Go ahead and do that. But the fact that
She can toss his salad for all I care, you know. But
no, do whatever you want. Toss a salad, add extra dressing. I don't give a shit what you do. But the fact that she is so fixated on Catherine, it is psychotic. It is dangerous. You left the royal family over 4 years ago to go be a private citizen and become the billionaire rock stars of the royal family, right? That was said about them. Meghan and Harry were supposed to become the billionaire rock stars of the royal family, but all they've done.
Hold on, right there, what you just said, billionaire rock stars. Let's face facts here. If the Spotify thing would have played out, they would be. If the Netflix thing would have played out, they would be. You have to understand, the only reason that they're not billionaires is because they suck and they failed.
It's not only that, Andrew, it's because they're so fixated on what William and Catherine are doing that they don't have time to spend on their own projects. That's what it is. They've spent the last 4 years spray gunning the royal family with bullshit. How much they could have just done good for themselves had they just focused on what they wanted to do instead of this childish high school behavior of name calling and
no, I think they did. I think they focused on Spotify. I think they focused on Netflix. I think that Meghan really tried to do Spotify. She just sucks at podcasting, and that's true. Like when you get a $20 million deal and you make the podcast that she made, she sucks. And I could use so many other words for that. Her podcast sucked ass.
Yeah, it did. No,
really
I'll give you that. I know, because I reviewed every single stupid goddamn episode. I listened to that garbage. It was terrible. Well, I didn't listen to it. I went through the transcript. But Meghan Markle had 26 producers working behind her. She could have put out something good, but yeah, she's
still
lazy.
failed.
how many producers? How many producers?
26.
I mean, I have my producers asleep on the bed right now.
Yeah, really, right? And that's the point, Paula, right there, right? That's the point. I mean, how many episodes do we put out in 1 week? Personally, if I do 5 days, 3 videos a day, that's 15 videos in 1 week, right? Meghan could only do 12 videos in 2 years. For $20 million, for $20 million,
and
hey,
other
Spotify,
people producing it.
Call me up, Spotify. I'll do whatever the hell you want for $20 million. Jesus, come on, $20 million. And
why do you think she couldn't do it? Because at the very beginning, they have the very good will of the entire United States.
She's lazy. She's lazy. She's used to having other people do things for her to get her where she wants to. And I think the fact that when she married Harry and had the staff and the courtiers set up the events and everything, she got used to that in the short period of time by getting other people to do the work and her just showing up and like getting the claps. Oh, Meghan, great job.
Grifter.
That's all she wants. She's a lazy, as Bill Simmons said it best. Bill Simmons, he said it best. She's a lazy fucking grifter.
Hey, that's a good question.
I gotta ask you, Andrew. You said that they're race baiters, right? Yeah. Why didn't they call Bill Simmons a racist? Because they seem to trash everybody who doesn't like him, and they say racist because Bill Simmons is a white dude.
because nobody would believe that. That's not really like it would have been something racist if he would have said something, but since he just called them grifters, no. Like the racism claim only works for people when they know it's gonna work. And that's why people like Megan use it, because there's certain instances where it will work and you can just say it and say whatever you want. Like you said with Paula, like you said with the UK law, where just any random person can say, oh, that guy's racist, and then he's going to get arrested for it without an investigation, because in some cases it can work, but not all of them.
No, but it is actually sickening. I mean, look at Scobie. I mean, the fact that this plastic face doll that looks like he has something up his ass, it's and but it's true. It's so stiff. Have you seen him when he talks? I just want to slap the shit out of him, to tell you the truth. I really do.
He's all smooth down there. That's why he's probably hadn't gotten laid in 20 years.
But what do you think of him about this thing? Oh, I didn't do it. Panic Omid Scobie denies responsible. Yeah, right. You know that a guy cannot mistranslate a name. You know what I mean? What do you guys think?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, and Scabies has. Oh, Megan's Mo. Go for what were you saying? Go.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. No, that's the thing is how many times have we said it that when you answer these rumors, that makes them real, and they just don't get that. And the problem that I have is I used to look up to these people. I thought they were good at PR. When I first started this game, I used to say to myself, damn, these people, like, they know what they're doing with all these stories. Like, they're really like pushing them out. And now I'm like, oh my God, these people are friggin' morons. They have no clue what they're doing, because you make the wrong move after the wrong move after the wrong move. Well, eventually it's just never going to be right because you're stupid. And that's.
But nothing happens either. If you think about it, nothing happens to them either. There's no consequences. And this is why I was saying they keep escalating their attacks.
But when you say that word, when you say the word consequences, what are you talking about? And same thing for the chat.
From the line of success. Okay, my consequences are the following, just like in any other place.
Okay.
They get Meghan Markle and Harry and they question them because that is a hate crime. So the police has to, I've been saying this on my videos. Yeah, no, in the UK, I gave a huge example. I went through the reading of everything. And the procedure is the people are arrested because Meghan Markle is claiming they're following guys.
Yeah.
They drove her wanted to kill herself while pregnant because of the bullying, the racist abuse, and everything. So that is a hate crime towards a pregnant woman. She even lied about that she was pregnant to make it more hateful. They were attacking a poor pregnant woman. So if you were, for example, in UK Parliament and this accusation was made by any of their employees, immediately the MP or whoever would be suspended, would be taken to the police station and interrogated about this.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem, Paula, is that what you're saying, imagine the headline, do you think it would ever happen? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle arrested for racial claims. That's the problem. Like they can, that kind of thing, unfortunately, and it always leads back to that. Unfortunately, who are the ones making the claim? The king's son. That's it.
No, the skanky bitch is making the claim, not the king's son.
Yeah, but
actually, Harry went back on Tom Bradby and said that there was no such royal races. What do you think, Molly?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Harry already walked back that claim. He said that there was no such thing, that Meghan never said there was a royal racist. And remember,
can you go onto my Twitter page? I think I have
obvious
Harry when he was on Stephen Colbert there.
Oh, I have the video here. I have the video.
Stupid shit.
I have the video. That's the one that I have. I'm going to show you. That's the one that I was going to play right now. I posted about 3 days ago. Let me show you.
There is a conversation. Hold up.
There's several conversations.
There's a conversation with you,
with Harry,
about how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, what that would mean or look like.
Ooh.
Do you see your mother or your grandparents in any of your children?
Definitely my mum. The ginger gene is a strong one.
Look at that. Both of them.
The Spencer gene is very, very strong. I actually really genuinely thought at the beginning of my relationship that should this go the distance, and then we have kids, that there's no way the ginger gene will stand up to my wife's genes. But
how the frick is the ginger gene strong when his brother isn't ginger? That's like saying something stupid, because if the ginger gene was strong, then they'd all have ginger hair.
Darling,
stupid
it's
idiot.
Harry. He's a dumbass.
Oh my God.
Face palm yourself.
but not only that, the stupid thing is that he's thinking that it's only his genes. That's how self-absorbed this ginger jerk is. He's a wanker because he doesn't understand that the Markles are actually redhead. You know, like Mr. All the Markles, they're Irish Scottish. They have a lot of red hairs in their family. If you look at Tom Markle's when he was younger, he's a redhead. You know, so the redhead gene is there. But he thinks only of himself. But what I say to people, because and in my video that I did about that, I said, please don't focus on the fact that is normal to wonder about it. But we're talking that Harry here is admitting that at the very beginning of the relationship, before he knew if they was going to last the distance, you know, he was wondering whether his genes were going to stand against Meghan Markle's genes. So he was the idiot who was wondering and who was concerned about what color, because he said that he didn't even know whether that relationship was going to go the distance, but he was still worried about whether or not Meghan Markle's genes were going to prevail over his genes. He's the racist one, because remember when he went to Oprah, he said that at the very beginning, that conversation happened at the very beginning. Was he talking to himself, that idiot?
Probably.
I mean, what do you guys think?
He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
What do you think is going to happen? Okay, realistically, what do you think is going to happen for real?
What's the time frame, though? What's the time frame on that question?
Now, like within 2 weeks, let's say.
Nothing.
I
think that today, next year, we're going to be talking about, not necessarily talking about the same thing, but I think that it all depends on a time frame. Like, do you think they're going to get divorced? Do you think they're going to get their titles removed? Do you think that all of these do you thinks? It all depends on a time frame. I don't think their titles will ever be removed because, as I've been saying, he's the king's son and his father loves him. And the whole thing, like we said, you saw it, Paula, the Parliament thing, the thing that you brought up on the screen. And it all depends on when you say, what do you think is going to happen? I think personally that we all need to buckle up, because we're going to have to be talking shit about these people for a very long time. And if it was up to me, I would tell the two morons, go back to your little fake royal bullshit and keep on doing it, because that's the only thing you got. Your little fake royal appearances. Go to New York City, go to San Diego, wherever the hell it is. Go do your little fake shit, because that's all that they have right now. I can't see. Meghan's not going to act. They're not going to produce. None of that shit is going to happen. I think they go with this fake royal American bullshit.
I mean, but can you imagine? I got to say something, guys, because this is actually quite shocking to me that Omid Scobie in the book was trashing Catherine because she prioritizes her kids for real. Meghan, remember when she went into Carson Daly and she says, oh, my kids are my priority. And then, of course, afterwards married to that one. But this woman hasn't spent any time with her children just in the past 2 months. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, and they're trashing Catherine for actually raising 3 children. Molly, you're a mom, you know, and I'm a mom, and you're a father. I mean, but can you imagine? You're a full-time working mom. I mean, this is the first time in the modern world, in modern times, that I've heard a woman being trashed for being a good mother, looking after her children while working as well. I mean, what do you guys think of that?
Bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. I wish that I was in the position like, say, Catherine was. Every mother wants to be in the position where they can balance work and life, and especially her children are young. This is what Catherine preaches about. She preaches about the formative years during the early years of childhood. So how much of a hypocrite would she look like if she abandoned her children and then she went and told people, oh, the early years of childhood is the most formative, and then she's always away from her children? Then what? Then they're going to call her a hypocrite about that? It's
See,
like
that leads
Catherine
back.
can never win with them. They'll always gonna trash her. Meghan Markle has opened the door for this kind of abuse to be thrown at Catherine. She has opened the door and no one has done anything to protect her.
Hey,
I mean,
that's
you
cool.
would think
If she wants to open that door, I'll walk right in and talk shit about her. That's the thing about Meghan. That's the
well,
thing.
we
That's
do,
how
and
this
then
shit
we
goes.
get into trouble
You,
for it.
yeah, you open the door like that, it's gonna come right back to you. So
She
that's what I'm
opened the
saying.
door about her pregnancies. I walked in it, and look what has happened.
Yeah, see,
Right?
but that because you walked in the right door, so they got you for it. See, that's what I'm saying. The thing is, here you want to talk like a lot of people want to talk about them going away. So let me ask you two this question: what does Meghan and Harry going away? What does that look like?
Molly, go.
I think people just don't want to hear from them for a while. They just want silence from them. They're sick and tired of the mudslinging and the every single day drama of being in the press. And every single day there's a problem. Every single day there's an issue. There's some kind of gossip. We just want some kind of normalcy for a bit.
Yeah.
It's been a tornado or an absolute shit show since the day Meghan had Harry release that message about leave my girlfriend alone, stop harassing my girlfriend, when nobody ever knew that they were dating. It's been a shit show since that day. And that was what, 2016?
But does that notion that Harry has, leave my girlfriend alone, stop talking about her, does he still carry that today?
Who knows?
Of course. But you know what it means for me for them to go away? What? I have always said I really don't give a fuck what Rachel, Meghan Ragland, and Prince and Henry Ragland, because I don't think she should have the name of Prince Philip. And I don't care what Harry and Meghan Ragland as private citizens do. My issue is that all this shit that they're doing it using royal titles, which means that they're still representing the crown. All the craziness that's going on, they've been doing it with the royal titles. If, for example, they wanted to live their lives like they said that they didn't want a title or anything like that, then if Charles were to remove the titles and remove the kids from the line of succession, I wouldn't care what Meghan Ragland does or Harry Ragland does. I really don't. My issue is that I'm a monarchist. I'm not a royalist. There's a big difference there. It's like you like democracy, you don't like a president kind of thing. You know what I mean, Andrew? For the people, it's like you love democracy. It doesn't mean that you're going to love every president, but you love democracy, what the idea of it is, right? So for me, I'm a monarchist. I love the monarchy, and the monarchy only works when it's respected, believable, transparent, and honest. Right now, the monarchy is not being respected because it's been accused of a hate crime. And don't forget that the monarch is the head of state of the Commonwealth, where a lot of ethnicities, such multi-ethnic, multicultural, multi-faith thing. And he's allowing himself to be called a royal racist, a racist monarch, because now that's in print everywhere. And people say, oh, it shouldn't matter. Well, it does, because there's always some idiots that believe it. There's always idiots who believe it.
There's always going to be, whether they're fake or not. And that's the scary part, that I've always believed the Meghan's morons are 80% maybe no 80% bots, 20% people, but there is still that small chance that they're all human beings. That's scary.
Look at Samantha. Samantha has had to move how many times? And people to this day are still, when I go in my chat on X, I don't know if you've seen this, Molly. When I go on the chat, people are still trashing Samantha.
Of course,
that Meghan never did anything to her, and Samantha's the evil one because Samantha's envious of Meghan Markle, and she's just, really nasty things about Samantha.
Yeah.
To this day, and Samantha receives death threats. And people are not thinking that she's on a wheelchair. Yeah. They don't care. But what do you guys think of Catherine?
Well, it's just like when, remember Ashley, Danger Zone, bless her heart. I know she's up in heaven, but remember her house mysteriously caught on fire? I've always thought it was a Sussex squad who burned her house down.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, she used to get a lot of death threats and stuff like that.
And then Andrew, I don't think you were around, but she passed away a year ago from cancer. And when we found out she passed away, the squatties found out also. So they flooded her YouTube page, leaving comments like to her daughter and son could see about how, number one, she faked her cancer, and then there was people saying that she deserved it. They hope that she went in pain. And like, these people are disgusting. Like, why would
you have to remember that the Megan's morons were cheering when Queen Elizabeth died.
Yeah. They were ready to go. They were glad that Prince Philip was dying. They were putting it all.
I have no reservations about Megan's morons. I don't give them the time of day. You don't listen to what they say. And this is one thing I want to say to a lot of people out there, that they comment and they go back and forth with Megan's morons.
Yeah,
I don't do that. And that's why I got suspended from Twitter, because I told them all to shut the fuck up. Because these are people that if something happens to you, like let's say I was to die, right? They will dance on your grave. Just the same way they did Queen Elizabeth.
They will. Yeah.
You know, that's bullshit that people are saying, oh, Mitt Scobie is reaching out to us and, you know, he's sorry about that. Omid Scobie can go lick his own ass for all I care and fist himself, like you say, Molly. He's a complete asshole. And people who lend themselves to do that, you know, I don't understand it, because I'm not like a flag. I don't wave, you know, like something like this. I'm never gonna have Jessica Mulrooney she's never come in my channel, because the fucking people they know who to reach out to. Because, you know, Jessica Mulrooney were to reach out to me, I will put her on the fucking hot seat. I'm not just going to give her a little soft questions, you know? You know what she did? She unfriended Chrissy Teigen, right? Because the guy from Kitson called her out. The guy from Kitson, the owner of Kitson, is actually Canadian from Toronto. Mm-hmm. And he called Jessica, because he knows Jessica. And he called her out and said, why are you following Chrissy after the scandal about the, bullying that teen? Remember, guys? Mm-hmm. And your friend has just spoken on Oprah saying that she wanted to kill herself. You know, shouldn't you be, unfollowing? So Jessica unfollowed her, but then 6 months later, she's back following her again.
Yeah.
Who cares about Jessica? She's a loser. Just
like I'm just saying that these are the kind of people. These are the kind of people that I know in my channel I get a lot of flack because I'm too strict sometimes. But it's just the way it is. Unless Jessica came and openly apologized and begged forgiveness, or Omid Scobie. But Omid Scobie, instead of apologizing or anything, he's just adding on, blaming. Yeah. Oh. What do you guys think?
He's a liar. Omid is trying to say that he didn't write those names in the book. And you know what? You would have written them in there the same, I don't know how he says, oh, it was a publishing error. Well, guess what? Charles in Dutch is Charles. Catherine in Dutch is Catherine. So you're a fucking idiot, okay? You put it in there. It's just like how when Spare got dropped or leaked in Spain by accident. This is exactly what Harry and Meghan did. They wanted this information out there, and maybe they thought by putting the information might give Omid's book some more sales. But no, I think it's been backfiring on him spectacularly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The owner of Kitson Stores, because the guy from Kitson Store in Los Angeles, he's the one who started that famous thing, Team Paris or Team something, Team T-shirts. So the Team Cambridge, when it was Cambridge's T-shirts, sold 20-1 more than Harry Team Sussex.
Of course it would. Of course it would. People want to be on the winning team, not on the loser team, like swimming with dog shit. Like, piss off. Harry and Meghan are so dumb.
Hey, people have been asking in the comments about the conversation between Steph and Scobie. What is that about? I didn't know about that. What's that about?
So Omid Scobie, I guess, do you want me to explain this, Paula?
Yeah, the Steph the Alternator told me that about a few months ago, and because she asked me if Omid had reached out to any YouTubers, right? And I said, yeah, he reached out to me. And she said, no, he told me that he'd only reached out to me. That was the first time I started laughing. I said, no, that's not true. I mean, but, but I didn't answer or anything like that. And then he blocked me when I didn't answer.
So what happened is that Omid Scobie reached out to a couple people, right? And he was trying to get them to change their minds on the type of person that he is. Steph had done a video about him calling him out on his bullshit and stuff, which she later, I don't know if she privatized or she took down after her little chat session with Omid, she basically showed one screenshot and she wouldn't show the rest because of whatever she promised him. But then she pulled up some old tweets from like 2018 that she wants us to believe that he's condemning the Sussex squad and that he's playing a game against the Sugars, which I tried to tell her in her messages, like, girl, like, you are being taken for a fool. Why would Scobie reach out to you out of all of us YouTubers who have been covering Harry and Meghan? Because his shit wouldn't fly with us. I feel like
Somebody said she took it down.
she took down her video. She took down the video, which was about Omid Scobie. And she feels that she thinks that Omid Scobie is playing a game against the Sussex squad and that he doesn't actually like him. But there's photos of Omid posing with squaddies. Omid talks to the squaddies. I mean,
I saw those tweets, Molly. I'm going to just interrupt a little bit. I saw those tweets, and there has to be context to those tweets, okay? Because he seems like he's defending Catherine, but no, he was being pummeled by the Sussex squad for posting about Catherine.
Yeah.
That's why he was saying keep it civil. Not that they were attacking Catherine, but that they were attacking him.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like this lady from the Navy SEAL that took that picture, the real picture of Meghan Markle without Photoshop. She's a Sussex squad, but the Sussex squad turned on her because Meghan sent them to her, set them on her because she dare post that picture without Photoshopping the fuck out of it.
You know, I just want to say this. Like, I like Andy and Steph. Like, I've gone on their channels and stuff, and I'm grateful for like for them allowing me to come on their channels. But I feel like Jessica Mulrooney and Scobie reaching out to them was because those two are the lowest hanging fruit. We would know that those two are bullshitters. Andy and Steph haven't been following this as intently or as much as like as deeply as we have since the beginning. Like that thing that Jessica Mulrooney did with Sasha Exeter and that whole race baiting thing. Like, Jessica is absolute trash. And that's not the first time she has done
white.
something. Huh?
She's white.
Yeah, but she
was trashing Sasha Exeter, and actually Andy went on.
Exeter is black.
And Sasha Exeter is a Canadian black lady, what's her name? She threatened her, and then Andy went on his show and called her a bully. But she called Sasha Exeter a bully. And I texted him and I said, you don't know the background of this, you know, but I guess everybody's entitled to their opinion, you know. But
I feel like Andy and Steph came on the Harry and Meghan bandwagon late, right?
Yeah, but they got on his. I know Andy Signor. I remember he was on Amber Heard after I was. I got off of Amber Heard in January. I finally let go of that, and that's when I got on Meghan. So he's been on Meghan just about as long as I have. Yeah. So they don't I think that, and what happened between Andy and Jessica? Did she like go on his show or?
She reached out to him. You explain it, Molly. You explain it.
She reached out to him via DMs and gave him some story and blah, blah, blah. And he believes her. That's the extent of it. Basically, how I see it is that Andy and Steph were the low-hanging, gullible fruit, right? They were the two easiest ones that they could manipulate, and they did. Jessica got Andy to believe her bullshit story, and Omid got Steph to believe his bullshit story. And that's it. That's it. And it's kind of sad because I was watching it, and I was just watching the whole thing go down. And I'm just like shaking my head. I was in Steph's comments. I sent her a super chat telling her, like, girl, you are about to get Ellie Halled. This is exactly like how Ellie Hall set up Yankee Wally before they took down her channel. And then the next day she did like an 8.5-hour live where she read Omid Scobie's book. I'm like, for us, like YouTubers who are critical against Harry and Meghan, we're not.
Wait, what do you mean she read his book? Isn't that?
No, she read his book. Like, she read it to her. Like, she had
to her subscribers.
She didn't read it out word for word. She read it and then she like put it in her words, but did an 8-hour stream of doing that. So as she was reading it online, she was putting it in her own words and telling the subscribers what he was saying. That's how she got around the copyright. Yeah, because you were probably wondering about the copyright, right?
Yeah. Because that's what I got a message about when I.
Yeah, because I had warned her in the thing that don't read his book on your page because he could be setting you up to copyright strike you. But
yeah, but the thing is that now that, for example, I don't believe that Omid is worried about him. No, Omid is worried. He's like a fucking weasel. It's like he's trying to pitch for both sides, you know, in case shit. And you know, it's so funny. They all have each other by the balls or ovaries or whatever ass, because Megan can't talk shit about Omid, and Omid can't talk shit about Megan, and Marcus is in the middle, you know, and then you have Doria, and then you have Ashley. I believe Ashley has been involved in this shit.
Who's
Ashley's an idiot. Ashley works for customs, right? She's an immigration lawyer, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if Megan kept her around to get information about how to work out Harry's visa and stuff like that, right? To get information about that. Yeah, because she's
no.
Yeah, Ashley.
Yes, she's an immigration lawyer. Ashley, Samantha's daughter, is an immigration lawyer.
Yeah. But she, like, I'm sorry. I'm glad that I know that she's an immigration lawyer, because I would never go to an immigration lawyer like her who cannot see that she got used by Megan and wasn't even invited to the wedding and believed the bullshit that she was told.
And who's Ashley? She's
Samantha's daughter. She appeared on the Netflix show talking against her own mother.
Man,
you didn't know that?
No. Well, that's the thing that's like out there. That's that out there shit.
A lot of people believe.
Here's the thing for me, and this is probably going to sound weird. I only pay attention to these two idiots. That's the only thing I care about, because those are the only two people that I believe. Like, I don't think Doria matters. I don't think that this other person, Jessica, I don't think she matters. I think she's useless. And now this Ashley person, I feel like all these people, they're just useful idiots.
They're just all the extra characters that Megan's using.
Yeah. But can you imagine what an evil bitch Meghan Markle has to be to befriend the daughter of her non-existent sister, and then turn her against her own mother?
Jesus.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that when Meghan Markle got married for the first or second time in Jamaica, Ashley was there. Samantha had been invited, but she didn't go. And Meghan told Ashley there how great Samantha was, what a sacrifice, how much Samantha must love her in order to put her to be brought up by her grandparents, by her paternal grandparents, because Samantha, her multiple sclerosis hit hard. She was a single working mom. She was disabled, and she was worried to leave her kid, alone in the hands of a nanny who could abuse her, So she said, the grandparents are here. Might as well, have them raise her to give her a more stable home.
Okay. As if that doesn't give it away right there. That photo of them too. As if that doesn't give it away. I mean, do you see that right there?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that right there. Jeez. You can't even.
Samantha, by the way, I don't know if you know this. Samantha's the one who put Megan in contact with Ashley.
Are you sure they're not related? And I mean, like mom and daughter, because they have the same exact right here. It's like literally.
She's Samantha's daughter. She's the
daughter, so of course they're gonna have some of the same.
Well, yeah, but I don't. That looks okay.
I sometimes wonder if Ashley is the surrogate of Artificial.
Well, she wasn't invited to the wedding. Have you seen that part of the Netflix thing where Ashley's crying because Megan let her? How stupid! You know what? If she were my lawyer, I would never hire her.
That's why I said she's stupid as an immigration lawyer to actually believe that cockamamie bullshit story that Megan gave her. She couldn't invite you, but she invited all these Hollywood stars, and you sat there and you believed it. You're the dumbest immigration lawyer ever. You deserve to have your license taken away.
What was it, the excuse that Megan gave her? Because she says, if I'm not inviting anybody from their family, it would look weird if I invite you. Then how come she invited Doria? She shouldn't have had any family member, If that was because she said that the palace made her not invite her. So Ashley's sitting there crying. Oh my God, and because of my mom, because of what my mom had said.
Yeah, somebody just said that. Some say Ashley might be Megan's daughter with that high school boyfriend that some say is her first husband. But I know I did a video on that other girl. There was that other girl. Hold on, what was her name?
The thing is that this woman is so shady as F, AF. Yeah. You don't know what the hell's going on with this woman. She is
Noelle Rasmussen. Noelle. Isn't that? Yeah, that's the girl. That's the girl that I did a video on, Noelle Rasmussen.
That's
And
also Samantha's daughter.
yeah, that's the one. And what I had read back then, that was a long ass time ago when I was like really green. What I had read is that girl is the girl that Megan gave up or was pregnant, because there's that photo from when Megan looks like some kind of chola, where she looks
La
pregnant.
choli
She's
puta de
in a white
mierda.
shirt.
Qué asco. She's such a chola. I swear to God, she is such a chola. Look at this. And what is this bullshit story that the palace is telling them to dress like Diana?
That's because Megan needs to blame someone for dressing like Diana, right?
That's from Megan, definitely. Yeah, I ran that story. That's definitely from Megan.
I mean, what do you guys think?
She needs to blame someone, right? She always has to blame someone for her bullshit. The palace made me dress up like Diana. The palace didn't teach me how to cross my legs. The palace made me do this. The palace, piss off and take some responsibilities for your own deranged actions.
I mean, but that's actually quite sick, guys. I mean, they haven't spared, and I hate the name, they haven't spared anybody of all the bullshit that they're talking about. Have they?
Yeah, not at all.
I mean, do you think Prince William is pissed?
No. I'll never look. That's one of the ones I will never believe. I don't think Prince William gives a shit. I think that this man knows he's going to be king, and the rest of it is just that's all.
I got to push back a little bit. I think Prince William is annoyed that his wife is being dragged into this bullshit once again.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's going to bother any man. If your wife is constantly getting grenades thrown at her and you know that she doesn't do anything, she just goes about her own business, which we all have seen her do throughout her years, right? I think William is going to be upset that Catherine's getting dragged into this. And you know what? William has every right to clock Harry in the face a couple times. I'd look the other way.
Yeah, but punch him again. Another dog bone.
He broke my
What
necklace.
did you say, Andrew? What did you say?
He broke my necklace.
Push me into the dog bowl.
You're absolutely right, Molly, because remember when the first thing, the Oprah interview came out, and then Princess Catherine was supposed to do this engagement and William accompanied her because there was, and then they were goading him, and he turned around and he says that we're not a racist family. Thank you very much. Fuck you very much.
I'm glad that William did that. And I'm glad that he showed up there to back his wife and have her back. Yeah, 100%. Those two show us how a couple is supposed to behave and act and have each other's back. That's how they are, right? And you got to love William for that. He will always protect his wife.
No, but I mean,
between them two.
Yeah, look at that. I'll send you look at this, guys. Did you see this picture? Did you guys see this picture? Molly?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Meghan Googling the Queen that you posted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that sick? This is in 2014.
Just look at her face. She looks deranged. Like she's ready to, she's setting up a hit on the Queen. If you zoom into her face.
I am.
Like she looks mental. That's an evil look on her face.
It won't go up. But her eyes are completely insane. And she's sitting there and look.
Probably barefoot on a dirty airport couch, right? I bet her shoes or maybe her nasty long toes are on there. I don't know. Probably wearing her hat that she wore. I'm surprised she's wearing a different hat.
It's disgusting. She's disgusting. I mean, and this thing, do you really think that was a baby?
No.
You don't?
If you click on that tab, there's more videos others have posted of the moment when Meghan, number one, everyone is told that when you have a newborn, you don't rub the top of its head. It's still very soft. Meghan is rubbing the top of its head. And also there's another video of Meghan hitting the doll on the top of the head and it doesn't even move or make a noise or anything. It was someone who left it within the comments there. So it might have gotten pushed down.
Yeah. But I mean, oh my God. Daddy?
That was a doll. The royal family should have never allowed.
Well, that
That
goes
is,
back to what I said earlier, Megan Small, is
Yeah.
that the fact that that was a doll, which it looks exactly like a doll. The fact that that was a doll, if the royal family came out and said anything, then it's an embarrassment because they were tricked.
Yeah.
They were either that or they were in on it.
Yeah.
Like it's something to where the answer is easy, but it's a complex situation.
this is
So
the
yeah, right there. What are you doing? Don't touch his head. What are you doing?
He's showing that, but he's also showing what the person wants you to focus on is when Harry presses into the doll and the indent stays on the blanket of where he pressed in really hard with his thumb. That's what it's showing also.
Look, I'll never forget the day my son was born. Okay, it was one of the happiest days of my life, and my son was moving. A child that's newborn is moving
The hands
around.
are like reaching up.
That looks like a doll.
The hands, like, I remember when my son was born, even though I was out of it from all the drugs from the C-section, I remember my little one's hands were like reaching up and outwards constantly, like reaching around and like, or grabbing his face. Like, that was a doll. And I hate to say it, but the longer the royal family allow this to go on, the worse it makes them look. They should have just like nicked it right there. This should have never happened. They should have never done this photo call. You want to be private? Then keep it private. Don't do the photographs. But the fact that you allowed this photo to happen within Windsor Palace walls and you had a single photographer there tells me that you guys are in on it. You guys okayed this.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, it's illegal. If they're all in on the fraud, it's illegal. That's the problem with that. That they oh my God, this is the problem, that the monarchy is only as good as the people who compose the monarchy, who make up the monarchy. And right now, there's everything they've done. I mean, the fact that they still refuse to show the document with the doctor's signature, they're not releasing the details. And as I said, and Andrew, I kid you not, I did that petition about a year ago. And I said, I don't care.
You gotta do it again. Do it again and again and again. Keep on doing it till it hits.
And then I said to people, it has to be a parliamentary petition, not a Change.org, not a GoFundMe petition. It has to be a parliamentary petition. My friend did it, and it was so disheartening because it's like, and I posted it. And no YouTuber. I asked the YouTubers to publish it because it was basically for them to bring back the law, to make it law, that those documents and make it retroactive to Meghan Markle. Right? Because right now they're saying, and as I said in my petition, it doesn't matter. I don't care if Meghan wants to have her privacy, fine. But if it's like, Andrew, when you go and apply for a citizenship or for a passport, American passport, you have to present your birth certificate. You have to meet certain requirements in order for you to get a passport. Well, it should be the very same for those kids to be in the line of succession. Those requirements have to be met. And I mean, we have that doctor in Montecito who quit right after she gave birth to Lily, and then we don't have a doctor in the UK. Which doctor did they say that gave birth to Archie in the UK, Muli?
There was no doctor. Oh, something Guta or something. Dr. Guta, I forget. But that person wasn't allowed to go to the Portland hospital.
And also the birth certificates weren't signed.
Yeah.
What do you mean the birth certificates were not signed?
Archie's birth announcements, he meant, outside of Buckingham
They always
Palace.
have, from what I understand, they always have like the same signatures of whoever, whatever, and then those birth certificates didn't happen.
The witness signatures, Paula.
Huh?
When they put the announcement on the easel outside of Buckingham Palace after a royal gives birth, and there's always 4 witness signatures on the birth announcement too. Yeah. Archie's is the only one that is missing these. All in history. I've pulled it up. The Queen, when she gave birth to all her children, she wasn't exempt from this rule being the Queen. She still had 4 doctors' signatures on the birth announcement. Princess Anne was the same. Catherine is the same. The only person who doesn't have any signatures is Archie.
I'll show you here. This is George's birth certificate. You see this?
Yeah.
This
One,
is signed
two,
by the doctors.
three,
That one, yeah, those right there, yeah.
4
Absolutely.
signatures.
Let me see if I can get Archie's. And Lilibet, we haven't seen shit.
Blank. I've seen that. I've seen Archie's. It's blank.
It's completely blank.
Mm-hmm.
But this is because Megan wants to protect the privacy of the doctors.
Well, you know what? When there's children within the line of succession, trust me, no one's gonna know also the chicken scratch doctor's signatures. No one's gonna be able, with their handwriting, no one's gonna figure out who the doctor is by those signatures. Okay,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in the next 2 weeks? What do you think, Molly, is going to happen in the next 2 weeks? What do you think?
Anything's going to happen? I don't think Charles is going to do anything. I really don't know at this point.
I think the most. You want to know what the most important part that I feel is us, because from what I've only been here, 10 months, and the one thing I notice is when I look around, it's only us talking about it. There's nobody like, there are other YouTubers, but you know what I mean? Like, it's only us on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
when you go out into the real world, nobody gives a shit about it.
Nobody gives a shit. So I think it's something to where, like I have said so many times, when you're talking about normal people that are just living their lives and they're just going to work, going to pick up their kids, coming home, having a glass of wine at night, those people don't to, and that's what they get away with. Yeah. So if it wasn't for people like us, for people like Paula, for Megan's Mole, for people like me, if it wasn't for us, nobody would know anything about all this shit. Because when you look around, nobody is talking.
And people have been talking about that. I'm absolutely shocked about that the removal of titles bill, because literally I have the WhatsApp with Pidina, because she was actually on Quora. In Quora, she found out, Paula, did you hear that the title bill removal has been approved? Got royal assent. It was on Quora, right? So I went immediately and I looked at it and I said, no, it says here that it's on the first reading. Let me see what's new. This is less than 2 weeks ago. And I looked at the news just like you did, and it said nothing, and it just said that it was still waiting to go on the second reading, right? And now that I looked at it with you, it says that it no longer is going ahead.
See, but look at this comment, Paula, right here, where this one, Elizabeth OG, I agree, the royal reporters are weak. Sarah Vine and Richard Eden are the only two that touch on things. Now, there's also Tom Bauer, there's also Angela Levin, but that's 4 people in the entire media business, in all of this shit. And also sometimes we'll see other people on GB News. We'll see sometimes other people on, I don't even know, not really TV, like television. Sometimes Piers Morgan, sometimes. But when it comes
Piers
to...
Morgan is blaming Omid. He's letting Harry and Meghan off the hook.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Piers Morgan is talking now. When was the last time he talked? Forever ago. People aren't talking about this the way that we do, and that's the most important part to me. We have to keep on talking about it.
Absolutely, but no, and also, it was
yeah.
really
Neil Sean is good.
Yes, it was really interesting. I'll tell you, it was really interesting something that you just said, because I actually did a video yesterday saying, where are all these royal experts? How come I know? I got 3 sources and Meghan's security firm that told me that she's sleeping with a bodyguard. How come I got a source that told me, and my source is actually quite good, that after that car chase, Harry got out and left Meghan Markle, and he left with 1 bodyguard, and he actually ended up phoning somebody in New York that's a friend of the family who helped him get to New York, but they didn't leave together. How come nobody's looking into the fact, I posted that video of Harry talk in the Stephen Colbert, or even with the Stephen Colbert, when Harry did that appearance in the Stephen Colbert thing, how come they didn't pick on the fact that that he talked about his genes at the very early on their relationship? That he didn't even know if it was gonna go the distance with Meghan Markle. He was still worried about whether her genes were gonna taint his, Yeah. And how come none of those royal people are talking about that?
Because you're not allowed to when it comes to something like that. Like when you have these people on television. Now, I've noticed this. I don't know if you all have. When you have these people on television and they're doing these little panels and shit, the stuff that they talk about is stuff that we were talking about 6 weeks ago. Okay? So when you watch what they're actually talking about, it's old shit. It's stuff that doesn't even matter anymore. And now that the book came out, now they're talking about the book because it's a big deal, right? So you have to remember, when it comes to these big publications, these big TV channels, the stuff that they talk about is probably not like with us, where we'll see something on Twitter and then boom, I'll report that shit in 20 minutes from something on Twitter. But they can't do that because they're on television, where normal people will also watch.
You know, we just here, we ourselves here, we just found out that the title for the bill, the removal of title bill, is actually being kaput.
Mm-hmm.
They're not talking about that.
Well, I mean, you don't know that they can. You don't mean you're talking about people that are on television. It's very different than three people, having a great time talking shit on YouTube. You're talking about television here. So it probably has to go through producers. It has to go through executive producers. It has to go through the people that are on the show. Like with Megan's Mole. I've seen Megan's Mole drop news that's like 10 minutes old. And does that happen for GB News? Does that happen for the Daily Mail? Like, these publications, sometimes the Daily Mail will drop a scoop and I'll be like, oh shit, we're going to talk about that. But a lot of times when you watch the TV shows like Tom Bauer, Angela Levin, they're talking about old stuff because the stuff has to filter down through all the producers and through all of the bullshit that it takes to get on television.
I gotta ask you something, guys, and we'll leave it with this. But first, Molly, do you think that Charles will bring Harry back? He's working on bringing him back.
I hope he's not that fucking stupid to do so. Because I mean, that would be an absolute downfall for Charles. People would hate him for that. I hear that in the media about, like, I've heard it mentioned on GB News, like, oh, Harry should come back, but it would be without Meghan. We would welcome him with open arms. No, I don't think the UK people have any patience for Harry left in their system at all. Nothing at all. And I think that if Charles was to welcome Harry or Andrew back, that would be the end of Charles. That would definitely be the end of Charles.
But what does that mean? What does that mean when you say those words, the end of Charles? Does that mean he'll be taken down as king? Or does that mean the approval from the people?
His approval will not only drop, but I feel like there's a lot of people who have lost respect for the royal family since this has happened. A lot of people who were staunch royalists have turned to become republic, like they want a republic now.
Yeah.
Oh, I see this too. And sometimes I wonder that also, that King Charles puts out feelers to see how the public feels about getting Harry back in. I feel like, no, the public doesn't want to see Harry. The public now knows who the real Harry is. I'm
going to ask you this one. I'm going to ask you this question. If they're still on the royal website and they're still using the royal logo or the logo they came up with, whatever it is, if they're still on that, does it technically mean that they've ever actually left? Because you're saying to bring him back. Now, if you're still on the royal website, then you technically haven't left, right?
I feel like when the Queen was around, when she was still alive, she was very strict about that. There's no half in, half out thing. I feel like after the Queen died and Charles made Camilla queen instead of leaving her as queen consort or whatever the hell, I feel like Charles has brought this in. He has let them run with the whole, we're using our monograms, we are going to use our titles and do what we want, because Charles isn't going to do anything. Charles is weak. He doesn't have a backbone. He knows if he does something like that to Harry, Harry might say something about Camilla, and he doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like when the Queen was alive, we didn't see Harry and Meghan running around using their monograms, did we?
Nope.
No, not until, I mean, when did we see it on the
hockey thing in Canada, in Vancouver, where she mocked that autistic person singing?
Yeah.
And on the welcome mat at Harry's house.
Yeah, it was on the welcome mat.
But has anyone said?
We didn't see that when the Queen was alive.
What do you call it? Has anyone made a statement about Charles agreeing with the Queen that they should have not had the titles? How do we know that Charles didn't like not want that for the Queen to do that to Harry?
I don't, Paula.
I don't know, because I don't think so, because he supposedly that still stands. He hasn't said anything in public that, you know, that they can use the titles. So that part about the Queen and that deal with them, and in fact, what was it that somebody said in Parliament? They were having a thing, and they said that Harry and Meghan Harry is not a working member of the royal family. But this is why I did a video, and I said, well, somebody should tell Charles about it, because if you look at the website, it says that they step back as senior royals, not as working members of the royal family, which is different.
Exactly. That doesn't mean they're not on the list. They're not in the family, because the reason I'm asking that is because how do we know that the Queen made the decision, right, to pull the HRH? That was her choice. How do we know that Charles didn't disagree with that?
Mm-hmm.
We will never know.
That's my thing, because the one thing that I've been saying for a long time is that unfortunately Harry is Charles's son, and you can't do anything about a father's love. If Charles loves his son so much where he's not going to give a shit of what this man does, well then we got a very big problem. Me, as far as I'm concerned, these two morons can go on doing this shit for 10 years. I'm going to be right here with them. But I do think that there needs to be some kind of something from the royal family. I do believe that, but do I think it's going to happen? No. I don't even think they're going to respond to the book.
You know why it's concerning? And people say, why are you talking about the book?
Sorry. I said they shouldn't respond to the book, because if they respond to the book, then it'll give a little bit of credence to the book. You'll give it a little bit of credit, right? I think that they shouldn't respond to the book. They shouldn't even acknowledge it or anything. I think acknowledging it will probably boost sales for Omid Scobie, because then more people are going to want to know, well, what was written about it that's made the royal family come out and acknowledge it, right?
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that's I wanted to tell you is like,
look what that comment says right there. Look what that comment. Gwen Mendes. Go back. Where is it? What the shit? Where'd it go?
Robert Jobson wrote in his book that the Queen was going to remove H&M titles and Charles intervened.
See, that's what I'm saying. How do we know that this guy isn't down too? You know, I mean, there's a father's love is a father's love. I'm sorry. Like, I love my children, but I wouldn't let them do that shit.
No, but, neither would I. But the Queen was really strict. The Queen was really strict. She even stripped Andrew of his military honor. I don't know what the hell she stripped him of. But it's Charles. This is the problem and you know what people say, why do we care about what these royals are doing? Because it is Charles is the monarch. Is this head of state?
Meghan is from America. I can say whatever the fuck I want about her.
No, but Charles is the head of state, and Meghan is using a royal title to interfere in politics, not as Rachel Meghan Ragland, but as the Duchess of Sussex. Harry's is trying to completely censor free speech in the United States. He's part of the board of directors of the Aspen Institute, who is actually actively working to censor the U.S. The free speech. So this is why we care, because it has repercussions, and this is just a symptom of something much larger. I mean, Harry and Meghan are two complete idiots, but they still have a lot of power. I mean, the Department of Homeland Security don't want to release Harry's, don't want to comply with the Freedom of Information request.
Oh, yeah. Which means that they did give him some kind of deal.
Or that he lied in his application, and they know that. Which is that would be a federal crime, because if you lied on a government application, that's a federal crime.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, what do you think? So you think, I don't know. It's actually quite frustrating for me. You know, I'm very upset about everything.
I think that you'll feel a lot better about it when you realize that we're the ones that can do something about it by speaking. By always calling them out, by always being here to say, no, these two people are pieces of shit. I know that, and I've been here for that. That's how you can do something. Because unfortunately, if you're dealing with an institution that believes never explain, never complain, hey, well, we can't do anything about that. But what we can do is say that these two people is a call girl and a client, and that you probably had an orgy with Marcus Anderson. We can say that. You see? So what's the most important part? Keep on making videos, keep on calling them out, keep on exposing every single little bullshit that we find, and let the chips fall where they may. If these people want to continue, hey, I'm game. I'm down. So let's go.
But you know, that thing, never complain, never explain, that's not always true, because the queen and even the queen has threatened to sue many times whenever something that they wanted. Like when William threatened to sue the newspapers unless they pulled that cheating story, which was a personal story. It didn't involve the monarchy. And now here we have the monarchy being called racist.
Yeah.
And they're not doing anything about it. I think that claim, that part of the book should be addressed, not by the monarchy, but by Parliament. I think that UK Parliament should start an investigation, grab Meghan Markle by the neck and say, you have to come to the UK and we have to depose you. You and your skin.
That's a bit much. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what should happen. Parliament should say, okay, Miss Meghan Markle, you're saying that you were racially abused by the monarch and the Princess of Wales. We're going to fucking depose your ass, and we're going to get to the bottom of this shit, come what may.
Yeah. But
to clear it
up. Those people in Parliament, I mean, they can barely do their jobs in the first place.
But you know, well, anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, guys. Please go subscribe to Andrew. And Megan Small, we're having a Friday live night as usual at 8 p.m. UK with Sean Atwood, with Ron, and a bunch of other people. Andrew's going to be there. Hopefully Megan Small and some other YouTubers are going to be there. And yes, go subscribe to them, and hopefully we'll see you next Wednesday. But go subscribe to 88 Andrew. I don't know. I said 88 POV. What does POV mean?
Point of view.
Point of view.
Point of view. Oh,
yeah. My point of view.
I'm like, Mega, I'm an idiot. So
no, not at all. No, she's a genuine moron.
Why 88? Why 88?
It's like a spiritual thing. Yeah.
And Megan Small. Oh, Andrews and Megan Small also, you know, because Megan Small, how's your thing coming? Are you getting close to being monetized again?
January is when I can reapply for it. So
reapply. And you see, this is the thing that pisses me off. No consequences for Meghan Markle, and we got Meghan Molly with a lot of consequences for simply mocking and pointing shit out.
I wasn't mocking. I was just asking questions.
You were asking the right questions.
Yeah, I got too close. I get too close to the truth, right?
Yep.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Watch what I say this. I mean, I've said it on Twitter, and I've asked them to check me for the community notes, but watch. I haven't been sued, but listen, guys, Megan's Mole.
And what about on Twitter, Megan's Mole? What about on Twitter? Have you tried to get monetized?
Well, I am.
You have a lot of followers.
I am monetized on there. Anyone who has a check, like the little check mark beside it, you can get monetized. Yeah. So I pay for that, and that pays it off. You
need to start releasing full videos on Twitter so that we can start making some serious cash.
I've been moving some videos on Twitter also.
Yeah.
Moving it onto there, but all of my videos are on Rumble also there too. Like the ones that YouTube wants me to take down, it's all on Rumble. Everything's back.
Oh, okay. Send me the link, Megan, so I can post it under the live here today. So we can, and if you have any other accounts, Andrew, also send them so I can post them under the live afterwards. I can put all the links so people can go there, you know.
Okay.
Well, listen, I wanted to say this, because I've never been sued for this, and I must be right if I've never been sued. But Meghan Markle's never been pregnant. She never gave birth to Archofficial or Invisibeth. Suck on that, Meghan.
Yeah, but I was going to say, I think she's been pregnant. I just think she's never given birth.
Well, there was that photo of her looking like a chola. She had a baby bump, a real one.
Yes, verdad. Yeah, I'm saying that. You know, the first one, when she was really young, when Doria came into the picture after being in jail for being a drug dealer, and you know, these are all allegations, of course, allegedly. But yeah, you know, like but go for it. You know, like I also don't believe she gave birth to those children. I really believe that there's something really shady as fuck going on there. And yes, they can go fix themselves, you know, like you say, Molly. But thank you very much for being both. I'll see you on
camera.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
I'll see y'all later.
Bye.